Well. I was getting ready for a bit of tea. I'd packed my little setup away. And then Leeds United. Oh. Why? Why do they do this? Why do they always do stuff like this? As you can tell, everybody, had a nice little shower afterwards. I'm in a completely different attire to what I was about 10 minutes ago when we finished the stream. Make sure you check that one out afterwards. I did not expect this. Did not expect this whatsoever. Going into this transfer window, I've been a little bit... I've been all right. I've been fine. I've been a little bit like, no, it's a priority, as you'll see on the last stream. One of the lads said that, you know, we're kind of what's your priority? And I said, look, left back, but I think Leeds will do this, and this. And as much as I was saying Farke needs to do stuff in this window, you know, I do like our squad. I can't deny it. I think we need like structure and a bit more investment, but so Leeds United have sent and they've terminated, not Tottenham Hotspur, Leeds United have terminated Djed Spence'S contract at the club. He's made 7 appearances, and Leeds wish him all the best for his future as the defender returns to Tottenham. Let me just logistically look at this and think, look, he's been injured for a period of time. He's come back in, and there's fans saying that he's still crap and stuff like that. I think he's been one of our best performers in the last 3 to 4 weeks when he's featured. I think this is a bad move. It's a really, really bad move. I think what I would say is maybe the reason they've done it is to free up some loan spaces. Gray's been good there, but we've not let Djed Spence once get up to the speed of play. From speaking to other people about Daniel Farke and from Norwich fans about Daniel Farke, and obviously knowing what we know so far, I presume he's going to come out tomorrow and just say for tactical reasons or whatever, which then everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon and say, well, he can't defend, he was lethargic, he's lazy, which I hate these tags when it comes to football players when they are not lazy, when they cover mass amount of ground in a game, but it is just such an easy tag to put on players. You're not saying certain players are physical or athletic enough for the Premier League, and we know what we're talking about there. We don't know what goes on behind the scene. There may be some other no smoke without fire. The story's just happened, mate. What are you talking about? Yeah, MH, wait till the real reason. I'm just going to focus on his quality right now. But I think Gray's done a really good job there. I do think Gray's done a really good job, but I was excited to see Djed come back in and then Gray go back almost into a central role to compete with Kamara, who I think has been a bit off it recently, and Ampadu, and us have a bit of a competitive midfield 3. I think we had the best right back in the division in Djed Spence, and it never got going. And that is so disappointing. He was the signing where I was like, oh my God, like giddy, like a bloody child. I was giddy when we got him. And to say it's ended like it's ended is so Leeds. And we all know it's so Leeds. And it's so disappointing. Eddie and Ketty, I remember when that ended, but that was almost like, you know, I felt that maybe we could have got better out of Eddie, but it was Bielsa at the time, and we all knew with Bielsa that listen, it was Marcelo, wasn't it? And we're frustrated, but it was what it was. I was frustrated at that, but this one, quality-wise, is massive, and maybe Gray and Dan James are going to be the partnership going forward on that right-hand side. But what they've done now is they've freed up another loan space, which is good in a sense. But there is a massive chance here that we look back at this at the end of the year with the quality that Djed Spence has. And I really don't want people to go on this back. Oh, I told you Spence is lazy, but Spence is. And if he got going, would be the best player, best right back in the Championship by a country mile. By a country mile. set back 8 weeks for his injury, which didn't help, but omitted from the team. And Byron put in at left back, Gray put in at right back when Spence was fit, and there was a real opportunity to put him right back for the game and maybe rest Archie, which Archie does need at the minute. Farke elected against that and decided to play Gray at right back again. So now you're looking at a lot of different situations. You're looking at situations where Leeds need to go, and now it's absolutely imperative that we bring a right back in and a left back. And I don't. This happens with Leeds a lot. Do not take your attention away from left back. Leeds need a left back, but now we need 2 options. Archie Gray cannot just continue to play in that position. We need 2 options. We need a right back and a left back. I am disappointed because I would have loved to have seen us go. It'd have been like a new signing, really getting Djed up to 4, 5, 6 games in a row, getting assists, all this sort of stuff, playing alongside Willie and Somerville and Rutter. And look, if you guys are naive to what he did at Nottingham Forest and how good he was when he got a consistent run, then I would urge you to check out that if you just want a bit of football history, because it doesn't matter anymore. I would have said, that's great, and don't judge him too quickly because he has shown before that he's unbelievable. But he's probably looked at it, Djed, and had a word with Farke, and in my opinion said, look, it's not good enough. I want to be playing. I don't want to be dropped for a central midfielder who needs resting anyway. And I think that means now it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Luke Ayling. Really, really interested to see what happens with Luke Ayling if we don't get a right back. But you would assume right now that they've freed up a loan space for Djed, Djed leaving, and we are now going to go and get another right back. But I don't think there is going to be a right back anywhere near as good as him available. I don't. Wasn't given a run of games when he could have been given a game in the previous. He wasn't given that. He stuck with Gray. And I think this is a real shame. I'm upset at this. I am because I think it's just what could have been if we persisted. And he's clearly got narked off. Maybe Farke's got narked off, and Leeds have decided to terminate the deal. But it would not surprise me now if Djed Spence was to be reloaned out to a top Championship side, or maybe a lower Premier League side. Finn says it has to be a master. Quick shout out to Derek, who's just joined the memberships. You can hit the memberships just on the join section coming into the show, everybody. It was his attitude, Connor. You had to look at his body. Dormston, I just don't know what does that, Dormston, look, mate, I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate that, and I appreciate it's a positive context. I get that, but that doesn't make any sense. When he's played for Leeds, he's tried. What attitude? What attitude is this? I don't understand. I'll never understand that with certain narratives and rhetoric. So it's his attitude. Why? What? Because he's better at going forward, but maybe he leaves a little bit of space in behind. His heat map was still really good against Preston. He's been one of the better players in an interesting month for Leeds. He's not been one of the worst whatsoever. So I don't. When he's just getting back into it, when he's been playing left back, and then he gets dropped by the manager instead of putting him at right back ahead of a 17-year-old child who has been doing well there, but it's Djed Spence's position. You've got a quality player there. We can't just turn around and go, oh yeah, but it's Leeds. We're Leeds. Screw him. F this, F that. It's like he's a quality player. It's a mistake, in my opinion. It's a mistake. But if they're going to go out and sign a Premier League caliber right back and a Premier League caliber left back, I'll turn around and go, okay. But I don't. Who's out there right now that you can replace quality-wise with Djed? But he never got given a go. He got plummeted at left back, which fair play to him. He stuck it out and did it. The promise at Leeds would have been he'll play right back 100% and he'll be playing minutes. Tottenham aren't just going to let him come to Leeds and for him to play no minutes. It's not going to happen. So he comes to Leeds, plays left back because we've bollocksed around with going out and getting a left back in the summer, which isn't Djed Spence's fault. And then when he has the opportunity to play right back, he's left out of the side because the central midfielder's doing really well in Archie Gray, 100%. But you want to get your right back who's on loan, who's Premier League quality, up to a good standard when he's already got he got team of the season for Nottingham Forest at right back and was one of the best players in the division in general in that season. I don't get it, but like a lot of people are saying now. Shout out as well to Dara, new member of the channel. Shout out to you, mate. Was it 100% Farke that made the decision? We'll find out tomorrow, mate. We'll find out. Rona says played just 30 minutes for Tottenham, and now Leeds have cancelled his loan. Cancelled his loan after 5 starts. Yeah. Yeah, Sam, it wouldn't surprise me, mate. It wouldn't surprise you. I mean, would you when you've just been putting left back all the time? And yeah, shout out to Derek. We are right back to square one. Could Farke be moving Byram to right back and be bringing in a starting left back? Dara, I really hope not, mate. I really hope not. Like, Djed was injured and he's coming back into it. Why would you put Byram's out the equation, fellas, lads and ladies? The guy gets injured every 2 minutes. Djed has an 8-week injury, comes back in for a decent period of time, gets plopped out at left back or he's out of the squad. Byram's out of the side all of the time, but he gets a free pass because he puts in effort. You know, Djed is up there to what Byram is quality-wise. And look, I like Sam. I do like Sam. He's been brilliant this season. But imagine if we'd have just got Djed back to full pace and put him at right back. He didn't get a consistent run at right back. How can you judge him? You can't. We can judge him on what he's done previous seasons. And I'm really fascinated. I'm going to be sat here, might even live stream it, about what Daniel Farke has to say tomorrow, because he's got to be very, very careful in terms of how he articulates that, because I'll be it'll be really sort of upsetting if they've had a fallout, but it wouldn't surprise me. And that's not down, in my opinion, that's not Djed's attitude. I don't know anything about Djed Spence. I don't know, well, I do know some things about Daniel Farke, but I don't know anything when it comes to team conduct of the manager and player and the liaison between them both. But let's not just assume everybody, because that's not right. That is down to Djed Spence's attitude. What no one has any foundation for that whatsoever. Logic, it's illogical. We can't do that. It's not fair. So hopefully right now, you know, we're moving on. Yeah, I'm upset by it. It is what it is. I am upset by it, but hopefully it's freed up a loan space and Leeds need to get right back in ASAP now. ASAP. I'm not having Byram. Shout out you, Dara, mate, member of the channel. I'm not having Byram at right back. Jesus Christ. We're having for a game. And let's not think because Firpo's had a couple of assists that we're going to have Byram and Firpo as fullbacks. We need to up that level, everyone. And Spence was that level. At D, that would be a great shout, by the way. Calvin Ramsey. Adam, when did this happen? Tell me what game, mate. And what effort is it? Because his heat map was always very, very good, and he's been one of the better players in the last 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know what you mean, mate. I honestly, I know it's football, but I just don't get in terms of what you're watching there. Because statistically, he was good during the game. Analytically, he's good during the game. His heat map is very, very good for a right-sided player and a left-sided player. I don't understand what this effort thing is. I don't get it. Got caught out a couple of times. Is that it? Because how many times do our players get caught out during a game? It's happened to Byron multiple times. Happens to Firpo at the weekend. I know we got 2 assists, but come on. Max Aaron's disinterested body language. Fair enough. I'm not even going to argue this anymore. Connor, does Ange want him back? Hence termination Spurs. No, NFFC. This was activated by Leeds. This was activated by Leeds United, so it's nothing to do with Ange, apparently. 49ers wouldn't cancel a contract without Farke say so. Mike, this is not. I don't think this has been reported, mate. I'm pretty sure it's been cancelled by Leeds United. It says terminated. It's a mutual decision. Says Dan Dobb. Okay, interesting. So maybe if Leeds have sort of had conversations with Tottenham, it could be to do with Ange, actually. I've not read anything about this being a mutual decision. This might have just come out now. Djed Spence has been recalled to Tottenham early after the recall option. He has returned to Tottenham after LUFC exercised the recall option. So Leeds have exercised the recall option. So I don't know why people are saying this Tottenham thing. Maybe I'm missing something. This is an official site. So we've exercised the recall clause. It was Leeds' decision to send him back to Tottenham. Where's all this Tottenham stuff, everyone? Because I'm not reading this anywhere. Phil says sent back. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm saying. So let me just check Phil Hayes, guys, live on here. Please make sure you're liking the video, everybody, as well. Just gives me an indication that you're enjoying the content. Let's see what Phil said on it. That was a couple of other Leeds journalists away this week, but Leeds have sent Djed Spence. Yeah, so Leeds have sent him back, guys. There's no Tottenham involved in it. There's no Tottenham involved in it. So let's not. Gabe says, I'm in disarray. Phil Hay reported that Leeds triggered it, not Tottenham. Why on earth would we do this? Farker had better explain. Yeah, Leeds have terminated it. Everyone, right, let's just, Leeds have sent him back. Leeds have sent him back. So, from Phil Hay, Graham, and the others, we have sent him back. So, this is, Spen, exactly. Imagine Ipswich didn't go in for him. Stephen says he didn't shine. He's anonymous. What didn't shine, mate? He's had one game at right back, 190 minutes at right back, and he was one of the better players. Is this an agenda? Or is this just? I don't know. Maybe it's subjective. I don't get it. I don't get this. I'm not going to keep arguing. We'll stick to the facts. He's left. Leeds are going to have to open up the loan books now. I don't understand it. I don't understand this whatsoever. If this is enacted by Daniel Farker, then I don't get it. We've not given him any chance to get up to speed. He is a Championship Team of the Year quality player, and he's proven it before in Nottingham Forest. I think this is a massive mistake. But if we are to go out and, like D said, get a Calvin Ramsey, okay, that's fine. JG says, I'm only 10 minutes in, but everything you've just said, Connor, I haven't seen no laziness or attitude from him. Lad's not been given a chance. YouTuber finds out that football is subjective, even though your name says you're objective. Work that one out. But anyway, listen, it is what it is. Leeds have let him go. And let's hope that we can get another one in. Let's hope that we can go and sign a player of Djed Spence's quality, because we're going to have to find another quality player as well at left back. And listen, this is, if you're Ipswich right now, if I'm Leicester and Southampton looking at this, I'm thinking this is a major blow to Leeds United. I've already seen Leicester and Ipswich fans saying we're absolutely buzzing with this, and it's going to be fascinating to see if any of those clubs move for Djed now and will give him game time, because you actually give him game time, in my opinion, at right back and not left back, then he'll do all right. And that's our problem, by the way. It's our fault that we've not got a left back in, so Djed could have gone right back when he's been back. It's our fault. It's not Jed's fault. It's our fault. So, anyway. Yeah, LAFC Josh, I'm with you, mate. Barney says, anytime we get a player on loan, our fans will crap all over them over one bad moment, yet defend Cooper's 5 mistakes per game, a la Djed and Weston. Yeah, listen, I wasn't a massive Weston McKennie fan towards the end, but I tried to give him a few things at the start, but I do not get on board with this attitude thing, guys. I just think it's a bit wrong. I think it's a bit wrong to just blame his attitude when none of the data backs that up. As I say, Djed, in my opinion, look, okay, let's put it purely subjectively. I think he's been one of the better players even at left back. I really do. But Byram seems to, I don't know, just get this pass. But I think when Djed's performed, he's been as good, especially going forward, and he's just come back from injury. So who knows? So Giles has nothing to do with his football ability. Something has happened between club and manager and player. Would have been good to see him get 5-6 games at right back. Attitude has nothing to do with it. I agree. I agree. So Giles, you're not wrong there. Surely someone is coming in soon. We've got to be. That's got to be it. New member Joe, shout out to you, mate. Shout out to you. Thanks for the joining, pal. Really appreciate that. Connor, brace yourself for Ayling starting at card. This is what we're looking at now, isn't it? If we don't go out and do a right back, we have gone from Djed Spence, who didn't get any chance whatsoever, to Luke Ayling. Ayling will be loving this, bless him. Look, we all love Luke, but he'll be loving this. Djed going back, and he'll want what's best for the football club, but it gives him an opportunity, doesn't it? Does that mean he's going to be going to Borough? I don't know. It all depends on what Leeds do right now. It all depends on what Leeds do. But if Leeds don't go out and get a right back and think that it's okay to rely on a child and Luke Ayling, we don't work. and then keep Byram at left back and Firpo. Are we being serious? Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Oh, dear. So, one of the better players, come on, he's been average and had a few good moments. I agree, hasn't much of a chance, but he did nothing. But yeah, I know Lee, but what you know, I feel performance wise, him coming back into it and him playing in his wrong position. I think going forward, he's been good. I think, we're looking at the last couple of games and when he's been taken off, aside from obviously the last game, the games before that, I think he's been decent. I think he's been unlucky to come off. I think Djed's been good. I honestly do. I ain't got an agenda. I've got nothing to, what am I saying? What am I saying? I've got no agenda. I'm not a Tottenham fan. I'm not a Djed Spence fan. I think he's been good when he's been playing. I think he's been okay. Well, above average. I do. So yeah, in a month where it's been tricky for Leeds, a real tricky month. I don't think Djed's been bad, and I think a lot of people have been saying the exact same thing. It's funny how reverse it's because people had this expectation that he was going to come in and be Cafu. How can you come in and be Cafu or be anything near to a top right back when you're playing left back? Because of our mistakes, because of our dumb transfer window where we haven't replaced any profile of left back for the best part of 6 years. That's our fault. It's not Djed Spence's fault. Djed would have 100% had guarantees when he was coming in at Leeds United that he'd be played right back. I get he was injured. That's not. I get he was injured, but we've not brought in a left back and we've relied on a trialist who nobody else would pick up. Nobody else would offer a deal because we were naive in that position. I just think it's a mistake, but it is what it is. It is what it is. If the question is commitment, then watch the goal line clearance. Well, this is what I mean. I mean, no standout moments. He cleared one off the line against Preston, which I thought was pretty decent because we could have got humbled at that point. Yes, he was all right when he played. He hardly played though, so I'm looking forward to see who we bring in. Yep, 100%. We're gonna have to wait and see. But going forward, listen. Well, Stephen, we're going to have to. So I'm absolutely fascinated to hear what Fark has to say tomorrow. But we need to hear what he's done there because he's let a Championship Player of the Year potential in Djed Spence go there, and we're left with Luke Ayling and a child, 17-year-old child, who I'm not discrediting him whatsoever, but he needs rest. And it'd be nice to see him actually compete in his actual position. Central midfield. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want to become a member, your comment gets boosted to the top of the chat, and it's £2.99. If you want to go on over to our podcast, we will. We're doing podcasts all week. I'm sure there's going to be a spicy one tomorrow on the Patreon as well. Make sure you check that out. Shout out to David Lynch for joining. Shout out to you, buddy. And guys, we will see you in a bit. Cheers, Joe. Will do. See you in a bit.